Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Nikki, and this is where we get nerdy. So, today we're going to do a little bit of a reading update. And then, later on, I may or may not film a review of a K-drama. And I still have to do, like, my whole full spoilery filled feelings with Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco. So first things first, we're going to talk about the successes we have had so far this month with reading. I finished Truthwitch. I started this early. I started it a couple days with, left in March, for Which Lands Along, which is hosted by Jade from JD Ray Reads, and I gave this 4 stars. The whole basis of it is that you have Safia, who's a truth witch, meaning she's a witch that can tell when people are telling the truth, or if they're lying. And then you have Isolde, which is a thread witch, which she can see the connections between people, but also, like, their emotions. Like, the threads change color based on their emotions. So the way I imagine it is everything looks like a detective's board that is connecting the yarn to all the different pieces of evidence. That's how things are with Isolde. Like, that's what she can see. She can see the bonds between people. So basically, these two are on the run because, one, Safi's power is very rare and can be used in a lot of terrible ways. And she doesn't want to be used by people. She wants to be her own person, so she's on the run. Isolde's on the run as well, because she's from a different, she's from a different clan, or tribe, like, ethnicity, race. Like, she's not the same as Safi. They're like a nomadic, group of individuals, which Isolde has left. For some reason, we don't really know why. Hopefully we'll find out with the rest of the series. And so they're on the run, but they're thread sisters. Thread sisters are like, you're bonded somehow, but there's also like thread brothers and whatnot. Like, they're people that you share a really close bond with. They're thread sisters, and so they're always together for the most part. And in their world, they are on a brink of a war because a 20-year truce has come to an end. So, and I didn't think I would like this, honestly, because this seemed like too much into the fantasy world. Then it's just like, I don't know. But honestly, I got sucked in. I have Wind Witch, which is the second book, right here. And Blood Witch and Sight Witch and Witch's Shadow are all on my wish list for my birthday. So, hopefully, if someone does not get them for me, I'll just buy them myself. And if I could put my books back, that would be great. No, don't fall. Okay. There's a big gap still because I have a big pile of books at my feet that you cannot see, that we're going to be talking about. Next book that I have been plugging away at. I do love this book. I really do love this book. And I love this story. It reads really easy, but it gets your heart. Ugh. I can only read like 2 chapters at a time because the content of it is heavy. Not the verbiage. That's, like, fine. But the message and the story is emotionally heavy. Pachinko by Min Jin E. Yes, I said E, even though it says Lee, because in Korea, you don't pronounce the L. So, it's E. Min Jin E. Min Jin I'll just say Min Jin Lee to make everyone happy. You're following this family through a couple different generations and their struggles. In the early 1900s, like you're starting out in the Depression era, moving through World War II, and ending up in, where is it? If I can find it. And then it stopped, like the last year is 1989. So like you're covering a good chunk of the 1900s. The story is beautifully written, absolutely heartbreaking, but you can't help but want to keep listening because you want to know what happens to Sunja and her family, and because you want nothing but the best for them. And you come to love them in a very short amount of pages. But I don't know about all of you that are watching, but growing up in Maine, we learned about World War II, but we did not learn about this part of World War II. I didn't realize how bad the Koreans had it and the Chinese had it because of the Japanese. I never knew of that. Not saying it like in this era because of the Japanese. Not saying Japanese people are bad, because they aren't. So, because we can't let the actions of a few define our perceptions of the many. But this was a really, really hard time for them. And it breaks my heart. Oh my goodness. It was definitely not America that was affected really, really bad during the Great Depression. Figure that out too. So, another book from the TBR, Elantris. I haven't even started it. Not gonna lie. Like, I put it on my bookshelf and I haven't touched it since. Until now. I just, nope. Then I took the dust jacket off. I do this with all my hardcovers. When I try to read them, I take their dust jacket off. Lore by Alexandra Bracken. Not very far into it, obviously. And I'm 102 pages in. I don't know how I feel about it. At all. Because I really, really, really like Greek mythology and Roman mythology. I like mythology, period. I like it all. And this isn't a retelling. It's just using aspects of the mythology for this story. But it kind of bugs me because some of the aspects of this mythology that is changed, I don't like the change. But that just might be me being weird and it not being a bad book. So, I'll finish this and then I'll tell you my true and honest thoughts. Next is a book that was not intended to be on the TBR, but my lovely friend Bree and I are doing a buddy read for Rise of Knight and Sword by Miriam Wade. A few weeks ago, during the Beacon book boxing, I read a promo card about a King Arthur retelling with steampunk and dinosaurs. Yep, this is it. My biggest peeve right now, and I'm only at page 48, chapter 5, my biggest peeve is the fact that pterodactyls are called dinosaurs. They're not dinosaurs. They are pterosaurs. Anything flying, flying reptiles in the age of dinosaurs were called pterosaurs. And marine reptiles in the age of dinosaurs were called ichthyosaurs. Not all of them are dinosaurs. There's differences. And that's honestly like my biggest trigger right now. Is that pterodactyls, which aren't really called pterodactyls. That's not their real name. They're called pterodactylus. But people drop the US for some reason. Anyways, yeah, That's my biggest trigger right now, is that. So. And then I DNF'd a book. In all 29 years of my life, I have never DNF'd a book. I usually stick it out, no matter how much I hate it. I stick it out and I finish. But I couldn't with this book, and I feel really bad about it. But I felt way too uncomfortable to finish it. And it was Muse by Brittany Cavallaro. I don't want to be spoilery about any of it, but just the way female characters are treated is enraging. And there's parts of it that, if it's not enraging, if it honestly does not make you mad, then I don't know something's wrong, because it made me extremely uncomfortable reading this. I asked my friends in the Discord channel, like, how long do you give a book before you DNF it? And they said, oh, well, about 100 pages. And I got to like 60 something, and there was a description about some actions that happened to some of the women, and I'm just like, nope, I can't. I freaking can't. And I shared this blurb, this excerpt, with a bunch of my friends, and they all said, that's a YA book? That should not be in a YA book. So, yeah. I couldn't. I'm sorry, Miss Cavallaro. I'm sure it is a fantastically written and a great book, just not for me. But we're going to leave on a positive note. So, of Disney movies, my favorite Disney movies, in no particular order, are Mulan, Hercules, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. A few years ago, Elizabeth Lim, the woman that wrote Spin the Dawn, released a Disney twisted tale called Reflection, which is about Mulan, and the twist is, what if Mulan had to go to the underworld to save Captain Li Shang? So, okay, I'm interested. Well, now, this was released last Thursday, Go the Distance, by Jen Kalanita? Sure. What if Meg had to become a Greek god? So this is the spin of that Hercules did not stay on Earth with Meg, that he took his spot in Olympus, and the gods decide to give Meg a quest in order to become a god. Which I'm really interested in. Can we just, like, for a minute, like, that cover. Beautiful. I love this cover. I don't know why. I just love it. So, we shall see how this goes. Now I'm kind of hoping that someone will do some more Hunchback of Notre Dame retellings, because I've only found 2. Like, in all of the interwebs, I have found 2 Hunchback of Notre Dame retellings, and I want more. Because I love Quasimodo. So that is like my little reading update. And I'm sorry. It's not going good. I even tried picking up another book for another book club to, like, compensate for taking out Muse, and that book was not holding my interest either. So, it's official to say I hit a bit of a reading slump. It sucks, but this too shall pass. And I do have a fun surprise coming later this month for picking next month's TBR. So, hopefully, I will get through as much of this TBR as I can so we can start fresh and new in May. So, until next time, remember that you are loved and you are valid. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell.